Hello and welcome everybody to the latest edition of Midweek Matters. Charlie, it's been a while.
It has. It's been just over a week.
Just over a week.
Just over a week.
So not really that long.
No, you know, it's long in rugby league standards. There was lots happened in a week.
Lots has happened in a week. You've got a fresh haircut as well. And
fresh haircut. You got a fresh phone as well.
fresh phone.
Finally joined the iPhone world.
Yeah, came back. I'm back. Got
Yeah.
the watch and all that jazz.
Apple Watch, yeah. Took it off for the podcast though.
Yeah, I can't get control of it. It's just beeping
Yeah.
all the time and sending me notifications, and I need to figure that out, how to silence it in important moments like this when I'm trying to concentrate on talking to you. Although, I don't like being distracted, but geez, that sweater is
Yeah.
hard to take you serious.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on wearing it, but it's just freezing in here. It's freezing in here though.
It's not that cold. I know I come under criticism for my cardigan wearing.
Yeah, it's probably worse.
That is.
Someone said to me,
the only excuse you've got is if you said, "Look, James, my nan knitted this for me," and
well, she
meant a lot to her. So please don't take the piss out of it.
Well, that's true. Actually, my nan did knit it. So yeah. But you know what? I got told. Someone said to me, "Oh, did they run out of fabric making your jumpers? You have to use 4 different types." I was like, yeah, fair enough.
That's brilliant.
Anyway, you can't you can't always, win in the game. I actually don't mind the way it looks. I've actually received some compliments on it. I'm sort of trying to attract not people like you, other sorts of people.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing.
Like you wear my criticism as a badge of honor.
Badge of honor.
You're like,
yeah.
oh, that's exactly the response I was looking for.
Well, speaking of clothes, actually, it is the Byron's 1-year birthday today.
Is it?
So we've been going for a year today. And as a special treat for everyone who's come along the journey, we are going to do 50% off the T-shirts for 24 hours only. So if you want to do
I did know that. Actually, I'm actually surprised about the T-shirt. I knew the T-shirts, but I didn't know it was a today. I knew it was this week.
Yeah, today. Year birthday. So congratulations, mate.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. You know, most podcasts fail within the first year. So
do they?
Well done. Still going strong.
Wow. When are we going to fail?
Hopefully not soon. Hopefully not soon. But thanks to everybody as well who's tuned into the show, because a year, it's gone by crazy. And I mean, think about we started doing it at Hello Sport and all that sort of stuff. So,
yeah, it's what a year it's been. We've had some fantastic guests.
Yep.
We'd have a great blooper reel as well for the live reads. And
yeah, especially you.
Well,
you learn. You're actually getting better. When you first started doing it, you weren't very good at live reads. You're sort of growing on the show.
Thank you.
Even your interviews. I saw one of the old interviews. And then you're a much better interviewer now than when you started. So it's all about improvement, isn't it?
I would bloody hope so as well.
My fashion sense has gotten worse over the year. I don't know what that's down to. Maybe just thinking so much about the bar and less about my clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm repping the T-shirts that the punters can buy.
Yeah, 50% off.
So
we're probably making a loss on them. We're just giving you out as a birthday present.
Making a loss.
Yeah. So we're probably selling them for more than we pay. Hey, there's one.
There's one flying.
Yeah. T-shirts. Plenty to sell.
Anyway, on to the matters of midweek.
Yeah. And we'll start with this.
How do you feel, Jimmy? Let's find out. Thanks to Tui's.
And Jimmy, we've got to start with the Reece Walsh suspension. Want to know how you feel about the 3-week suspension has been handed down. That's all thanks to Tui's. How do you feel, Jimmy?
I think it's probably fair.
Yeah.
Like, look, I know he tried to say it was towards his teammate, but he's been found guilty, so I'm going to respect the panel for coming to that conclusion, although it was split. The judges, found him guilty, so I think you've got to respect that. I think for Reece Walsh, it's just a matter of learning. There's been a couple of incidences that, it's probably shone away from just how good he is as a footballer, which should be the main talking point when we bring up Reece Walsh. It should be how good is he at football, not, some of the unsavoury things that the mouthing off, the questioning referee decisions, and he's an emotional kid, like we all are. But I just think this is a big learning curve for him now, and this could make or break the Broncos. Like if Reece Walsh goes away and kicks stones, or if he comes back and better than ever with a nice rest, going into the back end of the season. This could really freshen him up. Not that he looks like he needs a freshen up, but this could be really this could be work in the favour of the Broncos rather than work against them if they get it right.
Yeah, I actually think a lot of the criticism Reece Walsh is getting is a bit unfair. Like, he's a real competitor on the field. I actually love that about him. I love it when he was at the Warriors and he would try his guts out. And he's a bit mouthy and stuff, but you can tell it means so much to him. I really love seeing passionate players.
I know what you mean. But it's just about doing it in the right areas and not like the last thing Reece Walsh wants to do is be suspended.
Yeah, for 3 weeks as well. It's a good chunk of the season.
And this to continue on.
Yep,
because it takes away from his playing time. Really, that's why they suspend him. I mean, everybody, part of the Broncos, part of Queensland, they want him playing. So he's probably just got to go back and learn. And like I say, it's Kevin Walters and the rest of the leaders there at the Broncos probably need to do a bit of work with them. It was interesting listening to Brandon Smith yesterday or a couple of days ago when he was speaking about he'd be that instinctive, like just mouth off a little bit, and then Craig Bellamy got in some of the games conditioning in the games that they play to like purposely make bad calls on Brandon and to see how he reacts, just to train him up to no worries, sir. I got you. And then just get through it like that, because you're not all you can be competitive, you can have high standards of yourself and everybody else that's on that field, both your team, the opposition, and certainly the match officials, but they're not always going to get it right, and they're not always going to see it the same as what you do.
I think that's such a great level of detail from Craig Bellamy. Like, it's something that as just a punter, like, you'd never think that they'd go and give them fake decisions in training just to teach them lessons. Incredible. But he had Paddy Carrigan and David Fafita were his character references. They both sort of had mixed performances on the stand. Patrick Carrigan was started saying, F and C, and then they told him he was allowed to swear, and then he was swearing.
Oh, really?
David Fafita...
I've read it, and they
beeped it out for you. Yeah. But he was swearing, eventually started swearing, so he was able to swear. His mistake was probably saying that they had spoken about it at training today before coming, the defense plan. That was probably not the best thing. Probably for future reference, Patrick, probably just say that it was a mixed session today, backs with the backs, forwards just trained by themselves today.
Yeah, but come on. Like, surely they know they're going to bring it up.
Yeah, but hey, deny.
Yeah, but it's like...
Deny till you die, they say.
But it's one of them, like, what planet do they think they're on? Of course they're going to talk about it.
Yeah, but you can lie. Lying's okay.
But just maybe don't ask stupid questions.
Yep. That's a good... I mean, it was a question that it was a smart question from the judge, though, because it did make Patrick Carrigan's character, reference for the game seem a little bit less convincing.
Yeah.
And then the alternative, Dave Fafita, they brought in his Queensland teammate, who was obviously playing for the Titans in that game. And he said, I was right there, had the perfect view of Paddy and Walsh. He said what he said to the ref. Paddy, the ref was behind him. So again, he let him down as well.
Gutting.
But the big thing out of him missing 3 weeks is he's going to miss Origin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of who takes over. Like, Ponga's obviously ruled himself out. The Hammer's done such a great job.
Yeah, the Hammer. People talking the Hammer, and then Gagai comes into the centres, gets his swan song. Gordon Tallis threw up AJ Brimson. He's 18th man last game 2.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout, that.
Yeah.
It would be more interesting if this was a decider. But
would you give Ponga a little SOS? I know you said you're not going to play this. Nah, let him stay in Clubland.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough. Well, he got the 3 weeks, Jimmy, and he's going to miss a little bit of time. But another young player, Josh Schuster, he's going to be over the moon. He's got a 3-year, $2.5 million deal, $2.4 million to be exact, $800,000 a year. And they've obviously signed Luke Brooks. They've got DC under contract, so it's kind of a bit confusing where Schuster's going to play. But
on an edge.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
would 800k a year make him the highest paid back row in the competition?
No, I think NRL 360 had it on Tuesday night that Nia Corey's on 840. There's some other players on high. I think Dave Fafita would be on more than that.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other players who are on more than that, but it's up there. It's a high paid back rower.
Mate,
I mean, edge back rowers do get paid pretty well these days.
It's a lot of money for anybody.
Yeah. Initially looking at it,
it's a lot of money for anyone that on potential.
Yeah.
But still on, like, yes, he's played well, but let's not forget this year he was removed from the first team
Due to weight.
Due
as
to
well.
weight. And then you're rewarding him with an 800 grand a year contract. Like, they've done what they've done to keep him, but like, you're rewarding that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he went away and he worked hard, but he's not like set the world alight since he's come back.
Well, he has moments. He
Yeah.
has he hasn't put together like a full game. Even he'll have a great half. It's kind of, and also he follows up like if he has one good game with a few average games. And what do you think about his defense as well?
Look, his defense will change because it'll get easier as he moves closer. And I've not probably analysed it with like a great level of interest, but it's a lot of money and big expectations on him now to pay back.
Yeah.
with performances, and not just that, but when you're on that type of money, you've got to lead by example. You're one of the major players in the team. Like, people look to you, and you'll have a high level of influence. So it's important that, I believe the time away was really good for him, but he can't be like the weight side of things when you're on 800 grand a year. It just can't be an issue.
No.
Like, you've got to be ready to play each and every week. You can't have this crop up again. So, look, Manly have obviously made a big decision. His potential he's not reached yet. So, like, hopefully for him and Manly he gets there. But this could be deal of the century, because he could turn into $1 million plus player, or it could be, what were you thinking? This could be, a Brooks deal.
Yeah. I mean, I can't see it turning into the deal of the century, because even if he becomes one of the best back rowers in the comp, he's already getting paid like one of the best back rowers.
Well, yeah.
So I don't really see how they Manly win
No,
out of this. Like, unless the only good scenario would be if he lives up to the contract. He's not going to outperform that contract.
No, you probably actually, I take that. Yeah, he's probably going to. Yeah, how can he play more? How can he play better than 800 grand?
Yeah, being one of the best back rowers in the comp. I think from my perspective, it seems like it's a mistake. I know that there's talk that clubs, as part of their game plan when playing Manly, they've identified Schuster as a weak defender and are sending
plenty of traffic
his way. That's what teams have identified as a weak spot in Manly. So that's concerning. I mean, can he improve as a defender? Yes, I'm sure he can. But like, defense, is that sort of a mentality thing as well? Like, you got to be brave.
Well, yeah, there's a quick way to stop people targeting you in defence, and that's to start whacking people. And then they won't run there anymore. But yeah, I didn't know that about Schuster. But yeah, like you say, it's not the only way Manly win is if he becomes the best back rower in the competition.
Yep. Good luck. Good luck to Manly. Adam O'Brien, a man who is hoping for a lot of luck. And I mean a lot of luck. They play today. No, sorry, they play this weekend, and it is a must-win game for them Sunday against the Bulldogs.
Well, I don't think Newcastle make the 8 this year.
No.
Like, I think that's a foregone conclusion. So I like, what are the power brokers at Newcastle now like looking for? Is it how they finish the season, or is it, mate, you didn't make the 8? And it's interesting that both Flanagan and Hasler have moved, and the Hasler one really interests me. So I think maybe the Gold Coast Titans realised that Newcastle may have gone, let's get rid of O'Brien. So they've taken him off the market now.
Yeah.
If that sort of makes sense.
Yeah, of course. I can completely see where you come from there.
So, look, it's a tough one because I hate seeing coaches go through this, but it's the nature of the beast. And I reckon with Newcastle's squad, they would have, a pass mark would have been make the 8. And they're not going to. So does the next 10 rounds level of performance make any difference?
And they've only had the one finals appearance, I think, since Adam O'Brien came. And I know Nathan Brown had them during a tough period at the Knights. They seem to be improving, though. They did seem to be improving. I think the Knights are sort of like up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah. Well, that game against Brisbane a couple of weeks ago, they were outstanding. But then they backed that up with a poor performance against the Roosters that they really should have beaten at home. And then last week's performance, even Christian Welsh said it in the Melbourne
the hot
press
mic
conference.
Yeah. The thing about them is they've had Ponga out, and Adam O'Brien has had a lot of injuries during his time at Newcastle. There's no question about that. But Kalen Ponga's been in and out of the team this year. Lockie Miller was sort of their marquee signing. He was dropped at one point, and then I think he's had some injuries. He's not playing in the team at the moment. You've got Dominic Young leaving next year as well. I mean, it must be frustrating for Knights fans because they've kind of had this sort of like decade.
Dawn of false hopes.
Yeah.
Dawn of hope. Or dawn of false hope after dawn of false hope. It is, and it's sad because they love their football up there. They continue to pack out the stadium.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but look, I don't know how Adam O'Brien turns this around. Like I say, I think the season's gone, and I think I personally think the Newcastle Knights power brokers will be looking for other options already. It's a sad reality, and that's nothing against Adam O'Brien, but it's a sad reality of the nature of our sport.
There is a name that has popped up for the Knights job, and that's your former coach, Mary McGregor.
I think he'd do a great job. There's lots of people that I've been coached by before that I think, or that I know of coached that I think would do a great job. Sean Wayne from England, Brian McDermott, he's on the assistance role there now. John Morris, there's
Madge, he might get a chance.
There's plenty of top line coaches out there that could go on and do a job. But the one or the two with the most experience, obviously, that's Adam O'Brien's first coaching gig as a head coach. So whether or not they want, like, if they were thinking go experience, the two of them that really ring that bell or tick that box is Hasler and Flanagan. The other ones now would be McGregor or
Michael
Maguire.
Yeah. Interesting times. Adam O'Brien, of course, he came from Craig Bellamy. He's part of the Craig Bellamy coaching tree. And I reckon, in my opinion, at this stage of the season ended now, Craig Bellamy should be the coach of the year. And I want to tell you why.
Go on, tell me why.
The Storm, they're obviously sitting in third, and they play the Panthers this Friday. If they beat the Panthers, they've beaten every top 8 team at least once, except for the Raiders, who they haven't played. So they beat the Bunnies, they beat Eels, they beat the Sharks, they've beat the Rabbitohs, they've beat the Warriors, and then if they beat the Panthers, that then completes the top 8 sweep. So it's kind of like the opposite of the Sharks. Sharks can't beat any top 8 teams. The Melbourne Storm can beat every top 8 team. That's what,
Charlie, can I just give you like a little round of applause?
Thanks, mate. Thanks for that.
Because that is great homework.
Thank you, mate.
I was unaware of that, but that's absolutely fantastic.
It's incredible because going into finals, you want to know that you've beaten these teams. And they've got a great chance to beat the Panthers. Obviously, no Nathan Cleary, but they get the Panthers again a bit later on in the season. I think it's really set up for the Storm to make a run for the premiership.
I think both of these teams, the Panthers and the Storm, have had their hiccups this year.
Yep.
And they've had their adversity. The Panthers at the start of the season, where they lost a couple of games. And then the Storm, they lost to the Gold Coast at home. They had that
they conceded about 38 points in that game.
They had that strange defeat against the Cowboys a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
But like when they're on, like they're so hard to play against. Like they can dismantle teams, and they've got so many different threats across the park. They obviously they suffer around Origin time as well, but they've still got quality within their ranks. I'm gonna say this now. Like if the season continues on this trajectory and all the teams keep performing as they're performing, I think this is the grand final.
Storm Panthers. Yeah, I can really see that as well.
Yeah, I think it's a Storm Panthers grand final. As it currently stands, I think they're the two best teams in the competition.
And you got to remember, the Storm's doing this without Ryan Pappenhausen.
Yes. Oh.
Like, it seems unlikely he's going to play a part this year in the season, just based on what we're hearing rehab-wise and things like that. But if they get him back...
Mate, it's insane that.
Yeah. He'd be taking up $1 million of their salary caps. Not only do they keep losing players to other clubs, they lose the Bromwich boys, they've also got one of their best players just sitting there in the wings and they're not playing.
Well, it speaks volumes because both these teams have lost so many key players.
Yeah.
But they continue to cycle up in the top four.
And I think we don't sort of sit back and respect what Craig Bellamy's done like enough. Like he's going around again next year, thank goodness, because he's so good to have him involved in the NRL. But like, they are just always there.
Yeah.
Always.
I know, and each year you sort of dare to say to yourself, this is done.
Well, I thought there's no chance. No chance this year. You look at their forward pack, you're like, at the start of the year, like, there's no way they're going to contend again.
Yeah. I think he's really underrated. Jerome Hughes.
Yeah.
Like, he gets outshone a lot by Munster and Grant.
Big names. Like,
probably, and he doesn't play State of Origin as well, so that takes away from him, but he's such a good player. Like, he gets them around the park so well. Great kicking game. Like, what a player that lad is.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Andrew Webster. I'm sure he's probably in the running for Coach of the Year as well. And he'll probably get it. He'll probably end up getting Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Because
he'd get my Coach of the Year.
You get your Coach of the Year?
Yeah.
I'd give it to Bellamy still.
We're going to take a quick break from the podcast to tell you about AG1, the daily foundational nutritional drink with all your needs in the one place. I like to look after my health, and AG1 takes care of that for me. No more tablets, vitamin pills, all the health nutrition I need, all in the one place. Every single morning, it's as easy. Open up the fridge, scoop of AG1 in a glass, cold water, stir it with a fork, drink it. It tastes great, and it helps me know. It gives me the peace of mind that all my nutritional needs are taken care of, all in the one drink. It really is as simple as that. And also, anybody that knows anything about health benefits knows that it comes with adding simple routines to your day. It's not about magic pills. They're not going to work. AG1 helps me be the best version of myself by having this new habit of every single morning having that drink. I know my nutritional bases are covered thanks to AG1. A lot of athletes are now taking AG1, and with 75 high quality ingredients, it's no wonder why. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/buy-round. That's drinkag1.com/buy-round. Check it out.
It's a fantastic round of footy, and it's been a while since I've been sort of this excited for a round of footy, because during Origin you get a lot of sort of mixed bag, but this is a really incredible round, and it starts on Thursday.
Yeah, looking at these fixtures, like, this is a great round.
There's so many games that have finals implications.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much almost every game has some sort of finals implication. Or the games that don't, like the Bulldogs Knights, well, Adam O'Brien's coaching for his life.
And
so
it's two teams that are like pretty evenly matched as well on current form.
So it starts Thursday then, Sharks v Dragons at Shark Park.
This is a derby game as well. And all eyes again are going to be on Ben Hunt. Interesting.
He's named. He's playing halfback at time of recording. You never know. It could be a last minute signing. The Sharks.
It's not over.
It's not over. No, the Sharks need to win desperately, because they've got a semi tough run home. The Sharks, so they kind of need to bank a few points over the next few weeks. They got Tigers next week as well. So if they take these two games, it's two big wins for them. But I mean, I don't know. How do you see that game going?
Is that a serious question?
Sharks going to hammer them?
Mate, how do the Dragons win after the week that they've had? Like,
Don't know. I love that I love that the Dragons are digging their heels.
yeah,
and know it's
look,
Hunt.
I don't. I agree, but I think at the moment that I just can't see how they beat a team like the Sharks.
Yeah. What about with Ben Hunt? If he ends up going to the Titans, which players would you want from the Titans in return?
Well, it probably depends on what Flanagan wants. I think he'd need to assess the roster and see what they're lacking. Probably and who he actually wants to coach. So, and who he feels he can get more out of, because I think there's a number of players there that aren't playing to their potential. So if he feels he can get the most out of them, he can look to other areas. I think speed is probably a bit of a concern at the moment. So you'd maybe go for a Calm Pereira.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's any harm in saying, okay, well, and they've got the Dragons have got the trump card. They've got the trump card. So you can go and ask for whoever you want. If you think you're light in the front row, go and get Mo Fodawaker. Say that's it. If you want Ben Hunt for next season, or for the next 2 years while he's contracted under the Dragons, give us Mo.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're not getting him.
Yeah, otherwise you're not getting him. Simple as that. Okay, and then or Calm Pereira, who's like that try he scored on the weekend was insane.
Yeah.
Like, perhaps they need that little bit. I know they've got Sloan at the back and he's very quick, but some pace on the edge probably wouldn't hurt them. Or through the middle. With all due, I think Toby Sexton got tossed up. Like, with all due respect to Toby Sexton, I don't think he's bringing anything different. I don't think he's going to make the 17.
He kind of creates just another same issue that they've already got with Sullivan and Moan.
Yeah, he's not going to make the 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they, or Verrills, like you say, Verrills, do you want to come back to Sydney?
Yeah.
I think that's, or
because they could play Tanner Boyd or hooker, so Verrills might be
Verrills could be
a chance.
I know he's only just recently gone there.
Yeah.
Or the Dragons, it's going to the Gold Coast Titans, but then it's perhaps going to other clubs as well and going, right, okay, well, let's have a look at it. If we get Benny Hunt, we free up this money, where can we go and spend that money? And maybe get some other play. So have the instant knock-on effect. So one player I think Dragons need a dummy half as well as some pace. I'd go to Cronulla and see if Cameron McInnes would come back. And that be the knock-on effect. Okay, well, Ben Hunt goes, and we've got an agreement in principle with Cronulla. Cam's agreed to sign, and then it just bink, gone.
And then you could play. You got a halves pairing of Hines and Hunt. You could push more into a 14.
Oh no, I'm not talking about him going to Cronulla. I'm talking about because Ben Hunt wants to go to the Titans.
Yeah, but he's contracted just because he wants to go to Titans.
No, I know, but I'm saying you make a deal with the Titans.
Yeah,
he can go.
Yeah,
but you also make a deal with because then you free up that money. You can go and invest in a 9.
So then you don't necessarily need a player from the Titans come back if you can come to an agreement with someone else. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Or get Calm Pereira, but then you've got that deal in principle. Once that transaction has been confirmed, or once that signature confirmed, it's bang. It automatically kicks in the deal with Cronulla and a guy like Cameron McInnes, who was coming off the bench, probably not in his preferred position. I don't know. Former captain of the club. So then you start to go, okay, well, we win from this.
Yeah.
Because we freed up money and we, those two players, Calm Pereira and Cameron McInnes, probably that would be
a net win.
Absolutely, it would.
Yeah.
We win.
Because even on Calm Pereira, you think if you're the Titans, like if you were building a roster and you've identified this guy's going to be a halfback that might be able to take you to the next level, surely a winger you would give up to get that halfback.
Yeah.
You would.
Or you go, oh, we really need a 7, but then, okay, well, what assets do we have? Like, I think Verrill, that's what I'd ask for.
Yeah.
Because I think the Dragons need a dummy half.
And Verrills might be happy to come back to City. We don't know. It's all because Verrills would have to agree to that, wouldn't he?
Well, of course he would.
Yeah.
Of course he would. But the Dragons have got all the power and more power to them for having that.
Yeah.
Because Ben signed the deal not that long ago.
Yeah, he's still got another 2 years after this year. So 24, 25. There's
And-
no rush. It's no rush.
Look, I like Ben, but it's hard for me to be in that position where you think, how did you not foresee this? How did you not have that foresight that the coach you wanted to play for was going to get sacked, because he was basically getting sacked anyway?
Yeah.
Like that didn't surprise anybody. Or the fact of moving back. Yeah, what's changed in that? And there might be something else behind it. I don't know. But really, what's changed in a year?
Less than a year.
Less than a year. That
Yeah.
all of a sudden you don't want to stay in Sydney. I don't know.
He's facing a tough proposition Thursday night anyway against the Sharks.
Yeah, the Sharks win.
And then
by plenty.
Friday night, it's a great Friday night doubleheader. Starts in New Zealand, the Warriors against the Rabbitohs. The Warriors are favourites, which is fair. It's actually fair. The Warriors are favourites against the Bunnies of all things.
Crazy that, isn't it? Because you wouldn't have picked that at the start of the season.
Nah,
Like-
you wouldn't have.
It's like, credit to the Warriors for what they've managed to achieve down there, and Souths just recently. I had them. I had the top four banked,
Yeah.
and Souths are part of that, and they are sliding. Like, they need Latrell back.
He's
They
not back
need-
till round 21 though.
I know.
Like, they need to try and avoid sliding too much over these next
Yeah.
few weeks, because we know how important it is to make the top four.
Yeah, I know it is important to make the top four, but Souths have a bye late in the piece.
Yeah, late in the piece. But
So that is all. I think that's.
I think they've got 2 buys to go, if I'm not,
yeah,
if
but
I'm not mistaken.
one of them I think is like
round 26, I think.
Yeah, so that's the penultimate week of round football. Do you like that word?
I hate that word, penultimate.
Do you?
I hate it. Yeah, I think we spoke about it. I hate it.
Yeah, well,
It's because it sounds like the final. It doesn't make any
yeah,
sense.
well, it sounds like it.
Yeah,
but
they've
it's
got
not.
in the penultimate week, round 26, got the bye.
So that's as good as a top four finish,
Yes.
because you get a rest going into finals.
They've also got a bye in round 20, the Bunnies.
Yeah.
But that's
So
they're
they'll be-
still
they'll be-
they're
they'll
still
be-
in that
yeah.
danger zone for the top four, though. They've
Yeah.
got to keep winning games.
No, but I'm saying because they get a bye in round 26, I don't think they
Oh,
necessarily
because they don't need to get the rest, is what
yeah,
you're
they don't-
saying.
yeah, so they get that rest week.
Yeah. A couple of weeks
Yeah,
earlier.
a couple of weeks earlier. That's what I'm saying. That's as good as a top four finish.
Yeah.
And that's why I think you've got to, like, the bye schedule can be so advantageous for a team or so disadvantageous. Like, there's teams that have already had 3 buys. I think, say, for example, I think the Titans have
Titans have
Titans already
ninth.
had 3 buys. So, okay, they're up in the Gold Coast, perhaps not expected to play finals at the start of the season, but if that was like a Penrith or a Melbourne or a Roosters or a Storm, they'd be going ape shit. They'd be like, why we need a bye now? Like, that'd help them in their course for finals. So I honestly think that if they do that pre-season.
Yeah, I think you said
I've
this before. Yeah, the preseason cup, you get to win to pick your bye, basically.
You get to pick at least one bye.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah, the higher up you finish, you get and it goes like that. And this, this is available, and they knock it all off, kind of thing.
I think it's just a mistake they've made, the NRL this year. I just think they haven't planned the buys very well.
Mate, it's crazy how Brisbane.
It's not fair at all.
Brisbane have still got 3 to go.
No, they had one.
Oh, they had one.
They had one now. Yeah,
they had one, but
so these teams have got 2 buys to go: the Cowboys, the Rabbitohs, the Eels, and the Broncos.
like that.
2 buys each.
They've got 2 to go. Some teams got none.
Yeah, so the Sharks, Titans, and the Tigers have all had their 3 buys.
Like, that's not fair.
No.
And we're never going to be able to make it completely fair, but that seems like a massive oversight.
Massive oversight. Like, I mean, these teams are going to be so fresh. You think, like, and it's
Like, how fresh are the Broncos going to be?
Oh, and then Reece Walsh gets 3 weeks off. It's working out well for Broncos. But just getting back to what we're talking about, South, it is a big game for them because they can't afford to keep falling down the ladder.
No, they can't.
Like, they really can't.
But I think the Warriors beat them.
Okay. $1.70 the Warriors are.
That's nice.
It's nice. And the Warriors, are they a genuine, like, top 4 chance, the Warriors?
We'll see how the pressure goes, how they go with the pressure.
Yeah.
Because it'll come on, it'll start to come on them now. And they might not like to think it, but it will. And it'll start to maybe change how they approach games and they play. I hope it doesn't, because I've really liked what we've seen from them. Sean Johnson, what a resurgence from him.
They reckon he's going to win the Dally M. They reckon
he could be on.
Yeah.
I reckon he could be
I think it was like
Yeah.
top 10 when it went behind closed door, but it was really tight. It's that weird systems where you get 6 points
Yeah.
instead of 3 now because there's 2 judges. They've changed the scoring system.
Right, okay.
So,
Mate, wouldn't that be something?
it would be incredible.
Like, there's still a long way to go.
Imagine if he retired after getting because there's talk where he might not want him to play on.
he'll play again, surely.
I hope he does. The second game, then we've spoken about the Storm at length. They're playing the Panthers Friday night. It is the match of the round, but the Panthers without Nathan Cleary are just still sticking in the fight. They're winning games. It's so impressive.
It really is. Like I said, it's a great model. Both of these teams that they lose players, other players come in. It's part of their systematic natures that they just get the best out of people, and yeah, it's incredible.
It's your grand final.
Yeah, as it stands, I think this is the grand final. I'm picking the Storm in this one.
Then Saturday, this is just another massive game. The Canberra Raiders against the Gold Coast Titans. The Raiders sitting in 6 on 22 points. The Titans on 9th on 20 points. I know that's a bit confusing because really the Raiders have won 9 games. The Titans have only won 7 games. But if the Titans can go in there to Canberra and win, they are right in the hunt.
Well, we saw a different Titans team against the Brisbane Broncos. They should be have a huge boost from that without Big Tino as well. Like they're going down to Canberra with a chance, but I just think that the Raiders again they got a good victory against the Roosters, and I think the Raiders will get this one.
Then Saturday 5:30, the Cowboys against the Tigers. The Tigers, you just look at their team and they've just decimated. So many injuries. You got Dane Laurie playing at 5'8". I mean, it's going to be so hard for them going to North Queensland. And I mean, the Cowboys have just turned it around, Jimmy, haven't they?
Well, this is what was the score last time they played? 66-18?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So to the Tigers,
yeah.
I can see a reverse of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance. It was
66-18.
Yeah, 66-18.
Yeah.
Spot on. Yeah.
Don't be shocked if you see a reverse of that.
The Cowboys with 5 Origin players. Obviously, 4 of them played for Queensland, only 1 for New South Wales. But do you reckon that has given them a boost? Having that many players go and play Origin and just sort of reminded them that they're all top level players and they've got it in them?
You could be onto something there, Charlie, because it's hard to put your finger on. Like I said, like how long that wasn't that long ago.
No.
Like they were dreadful.
It's weird.
It
It's
is.
kind
You,
of
you can't like
yeah.
there were some people's tips for the Premiership after what they showed last year. They were so good, and I think everyone just thought, oh, this young group's going to kick. They didn't to start the season, but they're back and they're in contention. They still need a lot of results.
Yeah, yeah.
They need a lot of
They've
results.
got 2 buys.
They got 2 buys, but I think by my calculations, to guarantee finals, you need 13 wins. And
Well, then they'd need 5.
from 10 games,
Yeah.
or from 8 games.
From 8 games, I believe. Yeah.
So that's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. From 8 games. Because they've got
Yeah.
2 buys. Yep.
So you need 5 from 8.
Okay.
That's what they're staring. It in my opinion,
Not impossible.
No, it's
Yeah.
But that's that's the predicament they're in.
Well, this is a game they have to win. Then they have to win.
Yeah, it is. That's why I think that win against Penrith a couple of weeks ago in Golden Point was massive for them.
Yeah. No Taumalolo, another little injury concern for him, which is getting a bit of a concern. He's sort of in and out with injuries this whole year. Saturday night, though, Battle of Brisbane, take 2.
Yeah,
Broncos against the Dolphins.
Broncos all the way. Yeah, Dolphins are showing some signs of fatigue, aren't they?
Yeah, they've just fallen off a cliff.
Yeah,
And injuries have hit them.
yeah,
But also they were overachieving and
yep.
they've come back down to earth a little bit. Sunday, Bulldogs v Knights. Go your popcorn, everyone. Let's see who's Jimmy's tipping.
Yeah, you know.
Doggies?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
they're a chance. If they don't win this one, they probably don't win another game this year. I'm happy to call it. They don't win a game for the rest of this year. I'll bet you $50 that they don't win another game this year. The Dogs.
All right. You're on.
Okay. Adam O'Brien's potentially last game.
Oh, I don't think they'll say. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it'll be his last game yet.
All right. Sunday afternoon, then Seagulls, Roosters, 4:00 game. It's a really big game. If the Roosters lose this one, then their season's probably done. You'd have to think.
Well, like I say, you've got to get to 13 wins.
Yeah.
So what are the Roosters at now?
The Roosters are currently sitting on. They are on 7 wins. They've had 2 buys. So Roosters run home, Jimmy. They go to Brookie on Sunday afternoon, as we said. They're the underdogs in that one, $1.96. Then they've got the bye for the Origin round. And then backing up from Origin, Saturday night, they take on the Melbourne Storm. So we saw Munster didn't back up for game 2, but the others all did. And then round 21, they go to the Gold Coast and play the Titans. Round 22, they go to Brisbane and play the Broncos. Round 23, they're at home to Manly. 24, they've got the Dolphins. 25, they play Para. 26, the Tigers. And 27, the Bunnies. So they've got a fair few top 8 teams to play. And they've probably got 3 games that they'd say they would mark on as a win.
It's going to be a tough ask.
Really tough ask. Do you
Really
see them
tough
doing
ask.
it?
Can never write them off just because of the talent that they've got.
Yeah. You just kind of still think they're going to
Yeah,
find it, don't you?
yeah.
Like, I've still, in
But,
my
and
mind,
again,
I still
it
think
wouldn't
about the top
surprise
8.
me from them to go like 8-1 to
Yeah.
finish the year. Like it really wouldn't. And I've actually got them in my same game multi
Oh, okay, let's
this
hear it,
week.
Jimmy.
You might need to calculate this one for me,
Yeah,
Charlie.
no
if you
worries.
open
I'll get the Ladbrokes app
the
open.
Ladbrokes app. I've got Roosters to win. Daniel Tupou, anytime try scorer. And I've got Roosters halftime, Roosters full time.
You love a halftime, full-time, don't you?
Nah, to win both halves usually, but I've got them to be
Oh,
just in
okay.
case.
Okay,
so-
the halftime, full-time double. I like that from you, Jimmy. It's a solid one. But then you've also gone them to win. So you know that doesn't boost you as much as you think it does. Just so you know.
All right.
So you've got, because if you got them to halftime, full-time, and then to win, it's like the same.
It's the same bet.
It's the same
isn't it?
outcome, isn't it? But that's all right. That's all right. You're still learning. You're still learning. You're
No,
still
all right.
figuring
We'll
things out.
kind of start again.
Okay, we can 6 again it. Okay. Yep.
All right. I've got Roosters halftime, full time, and Daniel Tupou anytime try scorer.
Yeah, nice one. Paying $5.17. I forgot to do my same game multi earlier,
Did you?
but I've got the Storm -1.5. I've got Coates anytime, and I've got Hughes anytime. Paying $9.30. So, sorry, not $9.30. Yeah, $9.38. Very specific.
Very specific. Well,
Don't want to lose that 8 cents.
no, you don't. Makes all the difference.
Yeah. Happy first birthday, Jimmy. And remember the teas, guys. 50% off.
Yeah, how good's that? Happy first birthday, Charlie, Tony. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. And big thanks to Charlie and Tony for helping.
Just bringing this whole ship together.
Yeah, because without them too, you wouldn't want to know what you wouldn't want to know the state of this studio for one.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy doesn't even have to have the lights on in here, just the switch. It's kind of embarrassing. We came in today and you're sitting in the dark.
I know, but I sort of got in. I didn't think you'd be long. I thought I'd make a cup of tea.
Yeah, in the
First.
darkness though. It's like it's
not
pretty
that
dark.
dark.
It's pretty dark
Well,
in here.
I-
We've got big black hat curtain and stuff. It's dark.
Yeah, but
And there was one time when you were interviewing Nico Hines and I came in here and the two of you are sitting on these chairs in pitch darkness. I'm like, fucking hell, just turn the lights on, boys.
I know, I just couldn't be bothered.
I reckon you didn't know how.
No, I did. I just couldn't
Do
be
you,
bothered.
do you turn your light switches off and on at home, or do you get your missus to do that and your kids?
No, I always turn them off, but a lot of the time I
You
will.
always turn them off and never on. Never on.
A lot of the time I am just content to sit in the dark.
Okay, yeah, right. Interesting.
Just doesn't really fuss me. Just crack on.
Sit in the dark, drink your almond lattes, and just sort of like
Just get on with life.
just get out.
No
yeah.
matter the conditions. See,
But I thought you were all about optimization.
Yeah.
You can't be crack on with it, didn't matter what the
thing
conditions,
is-
and be a
thing
man
is,
of
though,
optimization.
when you're aware of what affects your choices and your decision making, you know then. So some people, for example, you're more likely to give to people outside of a bakery.
Give them what?
You're more charitable.
Okay, yeah, right.
And if you're running late versus on time, how that affects your philanthropy or like your willingness to help somebody if
Yeah.
you're running late. So now I'm aware of these conditions. You know, being in the light, being in the dark, that would affect people's behavior in a certain way. I already know that. I'm default.
So, is
I
that
stick-
why you're always late, because you don't want to give any money to charity? Are you just like, oh,
Mate,
I better always be late, so I'm not donating
I am not.
anything.
Hang on. Who was late today?
Uh,
Who was late today?
we were on time, I think. We were on time.
No.
Couple of minutes late maximum.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, but I was just doing it to avoid giving any money to charity. I don't believe in charity.
Don't you?
No, of course I do. Of course I do. Of course I do.
No, but it is true. Like,
Yeah, no, I believe you. That's true.
So when you know about these influences on you and how it
Yeah.
affects your decision making,
Well, I'm just saying you can't be a man of optimization and then also a man of crack on, get on with it. You're going against your two life values. What you're doing is you think you're philosophical, but really you're just taking other philosophies and taking them all.
Do
You
you
know,
reckon?
you got to have your own James Graham philosophy,
Oh, I
not
do.
the philosophy of all these different people together.
well, we're all a product of other people. Like everyone thinks we're our own people, but we're
Yeah,
not.
but
we're just a product of other people's
But
ideas.
you've
and
come on this
expressions.
podcast, spoken about optimization,
Yeah.
and now you're
And
saying,
then sorry, you're accusing me of being late. I am never late.
I think you're sometimes late.
Never late. Never.
On time is late.
No,
Wayne Bennett would have taught you
yeah,
that.
I
On
know.
time is late.
For you to call me, accuse me of being late.
On time
mate,
is late.
I know, but
Also, you were late. What about me and Brandon Smith there for 45 minutes one time waiting for you?
yeah, but I explained why I was late that day.
Yeah,
So
but
there's-
explanations don't cover up for lateness.
No, sometimes there's a reason. You got to account for reasons, and I apologize profusely to that because I am. I hate being late, but also back to the bread smell. Have you noticed that they have the bakery,
Yeah.
the beginning of the supermarket? Not by coincidence.
Wow. Good bombshell to end the show on
Yeah.
that.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you next week for more insightful things like why a bakery is at the beginning of a supermarket.